The Viper Ultimate came out in late 2019, and it just instantly started dominating the competition, all the way from casual games up to the pros. It was everywhere, but there were a lot of complaints about build quality, especially with clicks on this mouse. They were like crunchy and mushy, and they would just deteriorate over time in general. So Razer heard all these complaints, and they decided to release an updated version of the Viper Ultimate, and I've got one. It's the Viper Ultimate V2. So we're gonna go over this mouse. I'm just gonna review it like any other mouse, and we're gonna see how it performs. All right, let's check it out. How's it going, guys? My name is Chad, and today we're talking about the Viper Ultimate V2. So right now, just the regular black version of this mouse is like 100 to 120 bucks online, specifically Amazon, and that's a really good deal compared to what it's been historically. But if you don't want just the black version of this mouse, they also have a quartz version for $150, a mercury version for $150, and then also finally a cyberpunk version, which is $160. So the shape and size on all these different versions of this mouse are exactly the same as the original, and it's 126.8 millimeters long, 57.6 wide at the grip, and 37.8 millimeters tall. The box the Viper comes in is really high quality, and you definitely feel like you're opening a premium product here. Inside, you're gonna find the mouse and the dock, both really well protected on both sides by high density foam, and it does a really good job here. Underneath that, you're gonna find some paperwork, and then beneath the paperwork, you're gonna find the micro USB cable that you're gonna use to plug into the docking station. Okay, so before we get to the mouse itself, I just wanna say that this charging dock is so awesome. It's always been one of my favorite things about the Viper Ultimate. It's super easy and convenient. You just set your mouse down whenever you're done playing, and then when you come back later, it's fully charged, usually for me, and it's just really easy, and it looks incredible on your desk. It's just gotta be the best charging solution I've ever seen on any mouse. The battery life here is rated for up to 70 hours, but to me it feels more like infinity because it's always on the dock or I'm playing with it, so it's pretty much always charged. Also, Razer claims that the wireless on this mouse is 25% faster than other mice. And when I first used this mouse, I was blown away by how fast and responsive the wireless was. So I don't know if I believe the 25% part, but I can definitely tell you it's the snappiest wireless I've ever felt on any wireless mouse. Part of that is because they use the Focus Plus sensor, which is a crazy high performance sensor, and it's really efficient too. So this sensor can do up to 20,000 dpi, 650 IPS, and they claim a 99.6 resolution accuracy. The shape of the Viper Ultimate is really amazing. It's one of my favorite shapes of all time, and I use it for a fingertip claw hybrid grip, and it works really well for that. It's amazing. So does the Viper Mini, by the way. And I think it's really good for fingertip grip, claw grip, and then the hybrid grip. I wouldn't recommend it for palm grip. I don't think it suits that. So those other grips though, like they're all really great on this mouse. The coating on this mouse is fantastic. It has just the right amount of grip. Whether you have dry hands or sweaty hands, it doesn't really matter that much. So I don't know if they upgraded the rubber side grips on the V2, but they feel much better on this mouse. So I don't know if it's this copy or a V2 thing. I can't confirm that, but the rubber feels really nice on this copy of the mouse. It's really easy to grip. Whether my hand is dry or a little wet, doesn't matter. It feels great either way. So on to the most important aspect of the V2 specifically is the build quality. And you know, this mouse is 74 grams. It does not have any holes anywhere. And the build quality was a big issue on the V1, obviously. Here it is very different. I can't really fault anything build quality wise on this mouse, at least my copy. It's almost perfect, which is crazy because I tried like 5 or 6 of these mice back when they first came out and they were all just crap. So this is a really, really big upgrade in terms of build quality and just general feel in your hand, and using the mouse in any way, shape, or form feels much better. Like I barely have any button wobble on my buttons, and there is like very, very minimal pre-travel, barely any post-travel on my copy. The buttons, when I got it out of the box, I honestly was in shock. I could not believe how much better the buttons were. They're way crispier, they're way snappier, way more responsive. They're like lightning fast now. It's kind of insane. And I've had this mouse for, you know, almost 2 months, and I've been using it really hard, and they've held up really well. Like I haven't felt them deteriorating or getting loose or mushy or not as clicky sounding. None of that crap's going on. They're just staying really good and really solid. The side buttons here are very light and crispy, and they feel very nice to press. They're very satisfying, and they're just definitely feel a little bit better than the original Viper Ultimates did for sure. The scroll wheel, it's easier to scroll, it's not as loud, and it feels almost more tactile, like you can feel each individual step easier than before. And I also noticed on a lot of those older mice, they had inconsistent scroll wheels like all the time. So whether you're scrolling through like one part of the scroll wheel, it could feel different on the same mouse, or like they were different from mouse to mouse. So this one is the best feeling scroll wheel I've ever felt on any Razer product. It's insane. I love it. It's really great, and it's also really easy to press, and you can spam it really easy. So all around great scroll wheel. Okay, so onto the bottom of the mouse, there is a lot going on here, probably more than most mice you'll ever see. But they've got the same PTFE feet as before, which I don't have any major problems with these, but you can get better results if you want to swap out for something like core feet or another aftermarket solution. You've got 2 gold pins here for charging on the dock, and you've got a power switch, and then you've got a DPI button and also a DPI indicator. So if you don't want to run the Synapse software, which I personally don't, you can just go in, set up the mouse how you want it, and then uninstall it. Or if you don't even want to do that at all, you can just control your DPI from the mouse right here. Then up top here, we have a little cubby for your USB dongle. So if you're going to travel anywhere, you can put it in there and then keep it safe that way. And you still get a pretty good connection using the dongle in that fashion, as long as you're not too far from the computer that you're using. And lastly, we have the Focus Plus sensor right smack dab in the middle of this mouse, and it has the nice PTFE foot around the sensor, so it does not affect your glide in any way at all. The cable that's included here is a micro USB cable, and it's not great and it's not terrible. It's a little bit thick and a little bit heavy, so you can feel it when you move the mouse around. So if you did have to play with it, you would want to use a mouse bungee. And in my opinion, you really shouldn't be caught out having to use the cable too much, because it is very easy just to set it on the dock, let it charge up some, and then when you come back, it's ready to go when you're charged up. So it's all good. The RGB and aesthetics of this mouse are exactly the same as before, so nothing is different there. The main difference is the gameplay and how it feels. It just feels more solid all around, and with no creaking and no button wobble and much more responsive clicks, it's just a more enjoyable mouse to use than before, and by quite a bit too. I would say it's a very significant improvement over the original Viper Ultimate. So if you were holding out on buying the Viper Ultimate before because of the build quality issues, I think it's safe to go ahead and give it a shot now. And this is definitely one of my most recommended mice of all time. I love it. It's a fantastic performing mouse, and it's even better now. But anyways, guys, if y'all found this video helpful, give me a like. And also, if you're still here, you might as well subscribe anyways. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.